Real quick before we get started, obviously we don't have advertisements on this podcast. I plan on keeping it that way, I guess, for now. So if you do find it valuable, the best way you could repay me for the information is to rate and review, subscribe, share it with your friends. That'd be super valuable. Love spreading the word, building this community. And for those guys and girls that already have, I appreciate it very, very much. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. It's about making decisions. It's about clearing that brain space. It's about the when-then fallacy. A lot of really good frameworks and decision-making processes of the most important thing in your practice is making good decisions. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Business School for the Rehab Chiropractor. Class is officially in session. My name is Justin Rabinowitz, and I am a rehab chiropractor on a mission to teach you, a fellow rehab chiropractor, the exact tools and systems I've used to build my own successful rehab chiropractic practice so you can do the same. I hope you enjoy, and please subscribe. How many of you have ever had a patient come in to potentially use your services, and you go through the exam, you go through the process, you tell them what it's going to take, and they say, okay, not right now, but I'll call you when I'm ready. And you look at them and think, man, you are never going to be ready. Because if you think about it, if you're not ready now, when will you be ready? When will you be ready? When kids go back to school, when vacation's over, when the holidays are over. If you think about the journey of most patients that come to you, or at least come to our practices, very rarely did their problems start like that day. They've been dealing with it for months, if not years. And so if they come to us and they're still not ready, when will they ever be ready? The reality is they'll never be ready, and they'll never be a good time. If you're a rehab chiro out there, you're listening to what I'm saying right now, and you're probably nodding your head and agreeing with how frustrating it is when you have someone that you know that you can help, you know they need your help, and it's so easy for you to see if they would just give you a chance to help. But they give you the line of, when I'm ready, or this is going on, I'm not ready yet. Now, from my perspective, let me take you inside of my world as a coach, as a mentor. For some of you guys out there, I deal with the exact same thing. I get DMs all the time where I connect with people and they'll say to me, hey, it was great talking to you. Maybe when I'm ready, I'll reach out for help. I got it 3 times last week. One of them is, well, I'm not ready yet. When I'm ready, I'll let you know, or I've got a lot going on, I'll let you know when I'm ready. If you go back to think about the patient, you know that life is going to happen. And in their lives, if it's the patient, life will continue to happen and they will never be ready. The reality of that situation, if you're a patient with back pain and you're not ready now, circumstances won't change other than your back pain getting so bad that you finally have to make time for it. And that's the point that I want to make in this podcast. Take a step back and think of yourself in your business. You're a human. You cannot defy human nature. Most people get to me when their back pain is a 9 out of 10. When they've already experienced heartache, when they've experienced a month where they don't think they're going to be able to pay their bills, when they don't know how to get a patient through the door, when they need to raise their prices, when their spouse might leave them because their business just isn't successful. And then they're ready. But what if we could look at ourselves and our business and just decide? Because you will be ready the moment you decide you are. Let me say that again. You will be ready the moment you decide you are. External factors and external circumstance is completely irrelevant to you deciding when you're ready to become a business owner, to become a student of business, and to grow your business. I think something to consider if you're out there and potentially opening a practice or have a practice already is the control that you have. When you decide to be an entrepreneur or business owner, the thing you're signing up for is a lot of negatives. But one of the positives is that you decide. You decide. You make the decisions. External circumstance no longer exists in your world. And so when someone comes to me who's a business owner that says, life is crazy right now, I'll let you know when I'm ready, is someone who's given into the fact that life is going to happen and that they have no control over it. But again, one of the good things about being a business owner is you have autonomy, you have decision making, and you don't have to live in the when-then world. When things settle down, then I'll take care of this. When I have some money, then I'll get help to grow my business. The business owners that are the most successful understand that they do, in fact, have the control. They do have the ability to make a decision for themselves that oftentimes as an employee, you simply do not have. And so if you're out there and you've worked as an employee before and been frustrated with a lack of decision-making or decision-making that goes too slow, or making decisions that your boss made that you just don't think are correct, if you're a business owner now, don't do the same thing. If you're out there and delaying, I believe that's the number one fault of business owners. If you're a rehab chiropractor out there, you've went to chiropractic school, graduated, you've taken all the continuing ed seminars, most likely you're near the top of your class, or even if you're not, it's because you spent time studying real things. So intelligence isn't an issue. But time and time again, the thing that I see get people stuck as a rehab chiro is speed. They go too slow. They rely on external circumstances being perfect, quotes, perfect before they take action. Your business is never going to be perfect. Again, when I have money, then I'll invest in business coaching. Well, the only way you're going to make money is by investing in business coaching. If you had the money, you wouldn't need coaching in the first place. Do you hear how illogical that sounds? You're probably laughing right now because you know it's true. I think for me, one of the best days of my life was when I realized I was never going to be ready, that circumstances were never going to be perfect, that the decision-making process was never going to get easier. In fact, it was going to get harder, that things wouldn't get simpler, they would get more challenging. And you know what? I made decisions anyway. I'll give you a recent example. The CEO mastermind that I'm a part of, it's all in between travel, hotel, all that. It's probably over $15,000 a year. And every year when we are up for renewal for the last 3 years, I've taken the piece of paper, knowing it was coming, and sat on it for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. Gun to my head every single time, I knew that I was going to renew. But the mental headache that I gave myself to potentially consider the fact that I wasn't going to do it, which wasn't true, it was just on my mind for months and months and months and months for absolutely no reason. And if you think about that, what other decisions, what other brain clarity did I not have because I was considering this big expense that I was about to make, even though I knew I was going to do it anyway? Well, this year, finally, I reached a level of maturity to know, rather than take this paper home and mentally think about it to not do it, even though I knew I was going to do it, I just freaking did it. I signed the paper and I turned it back in because I was going to do it anyway. There's so many of you guys out there that I speak to, and when I get off a call, I know you're going to be in our group. I know you're going to do it. And I just have to wait for you to say yes. But what if you could just speed that decision up? Make a decision now. In any aspect of your life, whether it's investing in marketing, whether it's starting a business, whether it's investing in business coaching. If you can get to the point of self-actualization to just make the decision faster, realizing that the information over the next week, 2 weeks, 2 months isn't going to change, and you're going to do it anyway, think about how much faster you're going to go in your business. So many of you out there, I think, are going to have success. Inevitably, you will have success. The question is, how long will it take you? And when you keep making decisions slower and slower and slower, I know that you are going to lose to your contemporaries because they'll do the same things, but it's 6 months earlier. This game of business and this game of entrepreneurship is, people call it a spiritual game. And if you think about what we're talking about right now, it is a little bit of that. It's this mindset, it's decision making, it's the spirit of what we're doing. The decisions, they're not always so black and white. But when we make them and we can make them a little bit faster than our competition, we can go a little bit faster than they go. And over the next 30 years, which is how long I expect to be in business, maybe longer, I know that if I can cut the decision-making process down 50% every single time to make the same decision I was going to make, I'm just going to get there faster. I'm just going to get there faster. When you hold on to a decision, an inevitable decision specifically, it can be detrimental to other decisions. It could be detrimental to your brain space. I think of our brain space and our mental fortitude as a finite jar. And that we can't just keep adding and adding and adding and adding things into it, have more and more and more decisions that we didn't make into it before it's going to overflow. And then that's when we get emotional, which then means we get stupid, and then we make a bad decision. People always say Warren Buffett sits around all year and reads and thinks in order to make 1 to 2 big decisions per year. And if you think about being a business owner at our level here, it's usually doing the day-to-day with 1 to 2 big decisions every few months that are going to make or break us. It's going through, it's treating the patients, it's making sure that we do the things we have to do. And then every few months, we have to make a big decision. And so if we get the decision right, and then we can make it happen faster over the course of your career, you're going to be wildly successful. But take a step back and think about this for a sec. Think about decisions that you're just hung up on, that you either aren't going to make, that you need to make, decisions that you should have made that you didn't, or things that are just delayed. I mean, at the time of this recording, it's about mid-September. And some of you guys are sitting on things, whether it's a marketing campaign, whether it's a decision to hire a coach, whether it's a decision to open your business. And we're going to get to Christmas and you're going to be in the exact same spot. And no new information is going to appear. Over time, nothing changes. So there's a skill set to this. Just like when you have to take a test. Oftentimes, the better you are, you can do it faster. Well, business is the same way. You don't have unlimited time. Well, you do if you want to have unlimited time, but it's going to be a very frustrating business career. But what are the decisions in your business? When we finish this podcast, go ahead and write them down. What are the things on your mind that you've been thinking about? What are the things that you've considered doing that you haven't done? Every month, write down, what are the decisions I need to make? What are the decisions I'm avoiding? What are the decisions I am currently not making that I need to make? Just like with our patients, when we do an exam, you have to make a decision. Make a decision. Clear your brain space so that you can make another big decision. But as a business owner, think about your job. It's not to crack backs. That's the technician's job, which most of us in our practices are technicians, no problem. But the thing you're going to earn money with, create wealth with, feed your family with over time is not cracking backs. That'll pay the bills. But to build wealth, it's going to be making good, fast decisions and not getting tied up in the same decisions over and over and over again and not making those decisions. So let me give you a challenge. If you're listening to this and you got this far, go ahead and take out a piece of paper. What are 3 decisions you must make? Write those down. What are 3 decisions you must make? Now, as I always go through the framework, with each decision, what's the upside if it goes right? What's the downside if it goes wrong? And then can I live with the downside? And so you have 3 decisions, and then each question is 3 questions with each decision. And then by the end of it, you should be able to have a framework in which you can go and swiftly make those decisions. If you can write down that decision, figure out the upside, the downside, and living with the downside, and you're not sure and you can live with the downside, go and do it. Go and do the thing, right? Easy example. Well, I'm thinking about investing in Google Ads. Okay, what's the upside? Well, the upside is that I invest in Google Ads, I get a positive return on investment, and I get more new patients to my practice. What's the downside? The downside is it doesn't work. Okay, what is the other downside? I waste my money. Okay, how much money am I going to waste? Well, if I give a 3-month trial between ad spend and hiring an agency, it's $5,000, $6,000 total. Okay, can I live with losing $5,000 to $6,000? If you're 2 years in business, you're making 15 to 20 grand a month, you absolutely can. You should be able to sustain losing $5,000 to $6,000. If you can't, we got other issues. The upside, more new patients, you're going to learn a ton. You're going to be able to see what's going on in your area. You're going to get your foot in the door to help the upside of your practice, help to scale, help to put some gas on the fire. The downside, you waste a little bit of money. And can you live with it? Well, I hope so. And so if that's me and I'm out there, I'm going to make that decision every single day, twice on Sundays, as fast as humanly possible. Because if I can live with that downside, then I'm going to go. Absolutely, I'm going to go. I challenge you guys. What are 3 big decisions? Upside, downside, can I live with the downside? If you're brave enough, email it to me. coaching@strivetomove.com. Send them to me in a DM on Instagram @JustinRabinowitz. I'd be interested to see what you come up with. Hey guys, as always, if you enjoyed this pod, please share it with your friends. Please rate, review, and subscribe. It helps get it to more listeners. It's growing every single week, literally steady path up. And the content seems to be valuable, and I appreciate all of the feedback that we're getting. So I hope you have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. And if you found this content valuable, here are 4 ways I can help you for free. 1, grab a copy of my free guide, The Rehab Chiropractor's Checklist. You can get that at go.drjustinrabinowitz.com/guide. That's go.drjustinrabinowitz.com/guide. 2, go ahead and give me a follow on Instagram @Justin Rabinowitz, where I post business content. 3, subscribe to my weekly newsletter by sending me an email at coaching@strivetomove.com. And 4, leave us a 5-star review so we can gain access to more influential people and bring those lessons back to you.